Hey y'all, welcome back to another outfit creation video. So I've done a couple videos on this channel now where I use the website ShopLook. It's kind of like Polyvore if you were around for Polyvore. And I've used it to design outfits for the Monster High Gen 3 characters. It's just something that I think is like kind of fun. It's almost like the adult version of a dress-up game, kind of. So I had been doing it for fun and then I made a few videos and you guys really seemed to like it. And on one of those videos you guys have requested that I do the same sort of thing but for Rainbow High. And I do know that the specific request was for like the original girlies because it has been a while since we've gotten a new release for like the original 6 dolls. I am going to do that, I promise. I literally already have some of those outfits designed, but when I saw that comment, I was like, oh, wouldn't it be fun to do outfits for the Pacific Coast characters? Because they never got a regular outfit, right? Like, they only had their swimsuit releases, and that's cool and fine and dandy, and, like, obviously it fits with the theme of Pacific Coast, but they never got an actual outfit. So that's what we're doing today. I am sorry for delaying, once again, like, the technical request. I hope this is fun in the meantime. I just got really inspired, and so I did this. I don't know. I can't explain myself. Sometimes I just go off on these little tangents, and so that's what happened today, but I hope you can enjoy anyway. If you guys do find yourself liking the video, if you could give it a like, that'd be very helpful to me. And if you're new here and you like what you see, maybe subscribe so you can see more. But with that, let's go ahead and get into the outfits that I designed. Okay, so really quickly, I do have to say that I didn't include Bella, only because Bella did get, like, an actual doll. Like, she has a normal doll and a Pacific Coast doll. So I just did the Pacific Coast characters, that's the only doll we've ever seen from them since they've never had a proper outfit. If you guys continue to enjoy this series and you want me to, like I said, I almost have outfits prepared to do the original 6 dolls, and if you like that and you want me to keep going, I can do, like, Series 2, so Bella would be included in that. But not Bella today, so sorry if you're a big Bella fan. And then I am going from my least favorite to my most favorite design, which means that we are going to be starting off with Hali Capri. And she's just kind of difficult for me. The other thing here is that I went to the MGA Rainbow High website to find like the bios for these characters to try to like figure out what their style was. And on the original characters, it'll tell you like, oh, Violet likes a lot of glamour and really interesting fabrics and that sort of thing. Like, they'll tell you what their style is. Not for the Pacific Coast characters. So this was not nearly as helpful as I wanted it to be. I was going on here and was hoping that this would tell me what Hallie's style would be kind of outside of wearing a swimsuit. Not the case, so that was very, very difficult. She does seem from her very limited bio that I have that she's kind of an outdoorsy girl, kind of maybe a little bit more sporty. I don't know if that's accurate. I don't know if I'm getting the right vibe. I don't watch the Rainbow High show, so I could be really far off, but the bio didn't help me at all. So this is what I came up with for Hali. The other thing that made hers really difficult, and probably the reason that she ended up being my least favorite, is because she has such a specific color of blue. It is so hard to find the exact right color, and I feel like blue is one of those colors where if you don't have the exact right one, it is so obvious and so jarring. So Hali was a little bit difficult to do. I ended up starting with this romper because I did want to give her shorts rather than a skirt. Obviously a romper is like a one piece, but I just felt like shorts would be more appropriate for her because again, she does give me kind of more of a sporty vibe, like an on the go, like you don't have time to be worrying about, you know, like a skirt riding up or anything like that. You need to just be able to like run and do your thing and hang out. So I thought that the romper would be appropriate, and it was the right color of blue, thank goodness. Like one of the only things that I could find that was the exact right color for her. To continue to tie in the blue, I have a pair of the same blue socks that I wanted to have with these little sneakers. I know the blue butterflies on the sneakers are not quite the right blue, but I just thought this was so cute because again, I feel like sneakers would be very appropriate for her, kind of a more on the go, practical choice, but still really cute. And I thought that the butterfly embroidery gave it an extra layer of design, so it wasn't just like a super basic sneaker, but then also a bit of girliness because I don't feel like Hali is like a tomboy. I don't feel like she dresses in a more traditionally masculine sense, but I do feel like she likes practicality, so I wanted to kind of mix the practical with the stereotypically feminine. If I ever say masculine or feminine anytime on this channel, please know that I mean it in a stereotypical way. Like, anyone can wear anything, and I know that. But I have to have some way to describe this, and that's the best that I can do. Anyway, moving on though. I did give her a little scrunchie. I felt like this kind of tied in the colors with the embroidery on the shoes. And again, a scrunchie, pull your hair up out of your way, very comfortable. I feel like it's a lot more comfortable than a regular hair tie. And also it's a lot cuter than a regular hair tie. So it gives her a little bit of something something up in her hair. Same kind of thing, tying in the, I guess, extra colors that I gave her with her fanny pack. I felt like the fanny pack would just be easier for her because, again, I'm going with the on-the-go sort of sporty vibe. So I feel like instead of having a purse or a bag or even a backpack that she's got to kind of like make sure she doesn't forget somewhere, if she's running off to the next thing, like she's just got so much going on, she's busy, she's having a ton of fun, if she knows her fanny pack is on her at all times, she's good, she's safe. And I feel like the colors were okay. I like the print to it. It is like a little bit iridescent, which I always find exciting because anything that's sparkly or shiny I'm immediately drawn towards. So we went with that. And then obviously I had to give her some sunglasses. I liked the gradient here. I know that there's not really pink anywhere else in the design that I gave her, but I still felt that the shape and the like blue in the sunglasses was cute. And then just as a last piece, I wanted to give her this delicate little golden necklace, again to tie in sort of that more feminine energy and just something a little bit more dainty so that she has kind of more of a balanced look between being sporty and athletic and practical and also still being really cute and fashionable. So that was the goal. I don't know if I achieved it. This was a really, really hard one, so again, that's why she's my least favorite, but I don't think it's too bad. You guys will have to let me know down in the comments, though, what you think about her. Okay, and then next up we have Finn Rosado, and again, the bio, not helpful. That's going to be a trend in most of these. The bio basically just says that he is kind of a jack of all trades, he's very helpful, and he loves surfing. Like, surfing is his passion, which is great, like, that's super stellar. Does not help me design him like an everyday sort of outfit, so this one I feel like is kind of more generic and a little bit more boring. I think it's maybe slightly more cohesive than Hallie's, which is why I like it a little bit better. I just feel like I was able to find slightly better colors a little bit easier. But yeah, it's not anything crazy, so I'm sorry. I promise that these are going to get better as we go along. You just got to stick with me. Basically, we just have pink everything, obviously, pink cap, a pink shirt. I do like the pants, the GCDS. I don't know anything about the brand, but I like the pants. I feel like they were a good color. I have a nice mix, I feel like, of the light and the dark pink in here. And then I liked that they had the logo on them, even though I'm not always a fan of like logo clothing. I liked it in this case because it broke up the pink, gave it a little bit of a graphic sort of design. We've got some light pink Vans, practical, easy to slip off so that you can hop straight onto the surfboard. I was kind of thinking, because the only thing that I know about this guy is that he likes surfing, so I did want all of his clothing to be like really easy to just strip off. Like he can just throw off the shirt and maybe he's got like trunks on underneath his sweatpants so he can just like yoink those off and immediately go surfing. That was the only thing that I could like glean from his bio. So I did want to make this all super easy, super light sort of wear. And then to tie it together, another fanny pack. I like the color on this one. I feel like the checker on the zipper matches with the GCDS logo. I don't really have a lot to say about this, and I do feel really bad. But first of all, on ShopLook, there is a lot of men's fashion, but lots less, like a lot less than women's fashion. So it's always harder to design for a male character, and then especially when it's like a very specific color of pink, and then not knowing a lot about his style. I don't know, I feel like this was a hard one. I'm sorry. Those two were kind of the ones that I'm a lot less secure about, but we are starting to get into really good ones now. So I hope that you stuck out this far. I hope you didn't see the first two and be like, nah, I'm done with this video. Because now I feel like we're getting into some solid ones, and I'm sitting here staring at them, and I actually don't know which one to do next, because I actually feel like they're all good. I think I'm going to go with Simone. Okay, so Simone. Not the most helpful again in the bio, but she is a photographer, and that's like the big thing that her bio emphasizes, is that she loves photography. She specializes in underwater photography, but that wasn't really going to work. I wasn't going to give her a scuba outfit, you know, like there's not a lot else I can do with that. So I kind of just went with the photography angle. So for her, I wanted to design something that I felt like would be easy to move around in to kind of get that perfect shot, you know, not anything too restrictive or something that would make it difficult to like bend over or stretch or anything like that, but also something that I felt like could transition very easily into like a low-key business meeting. So my thought was like, okay, she wakes up, it's early morning, she's like out, she's taking photos on the beach, she's like kind of walking around, but she has a breakfast meeting that she has to get to try to sell some of her photos. That was what was in my mind. Like, I had a very specific scenario here. So I did want to have something that was high fashion enough to be like respectable and have you be taken seriously, but also something that again wasn't super restrictive. So I started out with the pants. The other thing with Simone, and then you'll also see this with Phaedra, is that because she has more than one color, it was a lot easier to design an outfit because it wasn't all monochrome. I didn't have to find like all the same shade. So I started out with her pants, pink. I know it's a bold choice, like the bright pink pant, but I feel like pink is a good color on Simone. Obviously she has pink in her design. And then I like these because they look like they're kind of stretchy, like not the actual denim, but like a very stretchy pant. And again, for moving about, for like squatting down, bending over, like getting that perfect shot, I felt like having a nice movable but fashionable pant was very important for Simone. I did want to give her the heeled booties, because it's a lot easier to find heeled shoes. There's just so many heeled shoes, but I do feel like it elevates the look from being just like, okay, I'm at work, to like, no, I'm at work and you should take me seriously. But they are the low heel and they are kind of a chunkier heel, so that way she's got more support, so she's not going to just topple over. It's not like she's wearing stilettos. I love the orange color. Orange is my favorite color, so like Simone was a great color palette for me to work with because I love these colors. But yeah, I felt like the boot was practical and cute. And then the top, it is the little like cropped sweater. I just love a good cropped sweater. I know that they're not always practical because, like, I get it. If you're cold, you want a sweater. You don't want like a cropped sweater. But she lives in California, so it's okay. On like the cooler mornings, she can wear it. It's fine. I'm justifying it because it looks really cute. I feel like it looks sophisticated, but also casual. It's just like a lovely balance. I got the yellow in there because I did want to tie more yellow into Simone's design. I feel like she doesn't have a ton of yellow on her actual doll, but I love the little pops of yellow in her hair. It's so pretty for her. So I really, really liked that, and I felt like it matched with the rest of the outfit that we had going on. Then it was just time to accessorize. The sunglasses are absolutely perfect. This like sunrise color scheme, just so beautiful. The gradient, I love it. Then I gave her a little orange bag. I actually think this is a camera bag. I looked up camera bag and I can't remember if I used it, but I think this is a camera bag. So obviously it ties in because like if she's a photographer, she's going to want her camera everywhere. But this is super cute. It'll match her shoes. It looks like part of the outfit, but it's also super practical for her. And then for jewelry, I just have a little gold bangle and a little gold necklace, again, to tie in a bit more of that yellow and just to elevate the look so that, again, it's not so much, I rushed out and I put this on so that I can go get something done, but like, I'm classy, I'm working, but like, I look fabulous doing it. I hope that that comes across. I feel like I did a pretty good job with this one and I really, really like it. I high-key want that sweater. It's so cute. But I just feel like this would fit Simone so well, and I would love to see her in it. I say this every time I make one of these videos. I am practicing sewing. It is very hard, but I am practicing sewing, and I think it would be so cool to make some of these outfits for my dolls to wear, because it would just be so precious to see them come to life. But that is going to be Simone. Next up we have Phaedra, and this one I have, again, a very specific vision for based on her very limited bio, because again, it doesn't really say what her style is. It just kind of says what she's into and what she likes, like world-wise, but not fashion-wise. So she is a self-proclaimed girl boss. She's like an entrepreneur. She wants to have her own beauty brand. So I'm getting very like girl boss from that again. Like I literally just said, she calls herself a girl boss. But I didn't want it to be like the gross Mimi sort of girl boss, you know? I want this to be someone who has power and like can command a room, but is also very fashion forward. So I went with like a short suit, which I feel like is a bold choice. But I love this jacket for her. I feel like it is giving some of like the business. I like the detail of the gold zippers. I think that's really pretty. It's also the perfect purple for Phaedra. And then I feel like pairing it with these shorts is just like a really bold move. Like that's not something that you would necessarily see all the time. Not that she could wear this outfit to like the most formal business meeting ever, but I feel like just casually, if she's wearing this to remind people like, hey, I'm a business lady, but I am a fashion forward business lady. Like I'm making things that you've never seen before. I'm going to wear things that you've never seen before and you are going to take me seriously. I hope that that makes sense because I just feel like this would be so interesting. Again, like not in necessarily the most formal of business meetings, but I feel like she could wear this on the day-to-day, and it's like casual enough for her to get away with it, but like businessy enough to give her that vibe. I did just give her like a little bandeau top. Again, I know that it's technically risque for an actual business setting, but I just feel like Phaedra seems like a risk taker. Like, she knows what she wants and she is going to get it, and she is going to make a statement on the way. And if anything, this is definitely a statement. Obviously, you would see mostly the jacket, so like she has a lot more coverage than just this little tube top, but I love the color. I like the idea of this bright orange peeking out from behind the purple. I just feel like this would look so interesting. Obviously, we are tying it with a slightly like redder orange heel. She does have a few different kind of orangey tones to her color palette, so I felt like that was okay to do. And I mean, a heel is going to match. It's going to go a little bit more with that business aesthetic, kind of formal it up a smidge. Then I gave her this snakeskin orange bag, again to tie in the orange, and then also her Pacific Coast doll has the snakeskin swimsuit, so I thought I would go ahead and tie that print in because presumably that means she likes it at least a little bit, and it's kind of just a nod to her doll's design to give her the snakeskin bag. I thought it was very cute. Since this is Pacific Coast, I feel like I couldn't not give her sunglasses. Like, if she's running out getting her coffee in the morning and the sun is shining, she's gonna need some sunglasses. So I just picked a color that I feel like would match with the rest of her outfit. I did give her a more statement gold necklace here. She doesn't have anything really exciting happening on her top, so I feel like it wouldn't be competing with the top itself. And I wanted to give her a little bit more bling. I feel like she deserves some bling. And then lastly, a couple of hair clips. I don't have a clear style in mind for like what style I imagine her wearing with this outfit. Maybe like a high pony, but I feel like the clips would be interesting. She has beautiful hair, so I didn't want to do anything that would take away from it, but rather something that would add to it. I feel like the clips honestly could blend into like parts of her hair's color, but have just like that hint of glimmer to it when the sun catches it. I don't know if you guys are seeing in your head what I'm seeing in my head based on this image, but I feel like this would look really sick. I feel like Phaedra would rock this. Again, I know this whole design is a pretty bold choice and not necessarily things that like should go together, but I honestly feel like she could rock it. So I'm standing by this one. I think this one's pretty good. Okay, as for Harper, she's an actress, a singer, a dancer. Like, she's a performer. That doesn't tell me much. Do you know how many different kinds of dancers there are? How many different kinds of singers? Like, that doesn't tell me anything about what her style might actually be. So I mostly just went off her color palette and kind of the vibe that I get from her. I know that in her actual doll, she is covered in the Burberry like yellow plaid. I did not want to do tons of that for this one, but I had to give like a little hint to it since it's the only thing I can really take away from her Pacific Coast doll. So I did give her this, technically it's a bathing suit, but I'm going to pretend it's a bodysuit. This Burberry plaid bodysuit, and then on top of it, yellow cargo pants. I feel like she could wear this where the cargo pants are kind of like low on her hips, and then I'm imagining the bodysuit to be kind of high cut, so you get just like a hint of skin at the hip that's showing like between the two. I feel like that would be very fun, like a tiny little hip peekaboo. I think that that would look so cool for her. I do feel like she's a little bit more down to earth, like not necessarily as fancy or sophisticated in her style as like Phaedra. So I did give her just these yellow Converse. I feel like they match the color palette perfectly, and they just fit the vibe that I kind of had for her. Then I did give her a yellow beanie in the same color. I'm picturing her having the beanie and then having like two pigtails coming out like the front, like low pigtails. I just feel like that would look really cool. She's got a really beautiful texture to her hair where it's like on the verge of wavy and curly, and I just feel like that would look so sick. Like, I can see this so clearly in my head, and I need to start like drawing these or something for you guys, because I have an image that I can see, and I only can hope that the image on screen of the outfit conveys to you what I'm thinking, because like this would look so cool all together. To tie it all together, we've got a gold chain, a little bit more, I don't want to say edgy because it's definitely not edgy, but it's not as delicate as a lot of the jewelry that I have been using in other designs this episode. Just like a little bit more tough, I guess is the right word for Harper, because I feel like she would want something that's not quite so delicate. We've got some cute gold sunglasses, and then lastly a backpack. I don't feel like she would really be the biggest purse girl. Again, I could just be projecting. I don't watch the show, so I don't know anything about her personality. but I don't know, she just feels like a bag kind of gal. Like, she could have so much stuff in there, all the essentials, and it matches the outfit. I feel like it would go really well. Again, I hope that you can get my vision with this, because I feel like this is really solid. But there is one that I like even more. And that one is Margot. So I did not expect this going in, and I do apologize in advance for the white on the white background. I can't change the background color on ShopLook, which is hugely inconvenient, but like, that's what I have to work with, so oh well, it's a lot of white on white. But okay, as for Margot's bio, again, not a lot, but it says that she has an attention for the smallest details. She can find beauty in everything. She loves jewelry making, and she's kind of a little bit quieter, not quite as in your face as some of the other characters. Like, she's a little bit more low-key, I guess you could say. She gives me such high-class vibes. The image that I have when I, like, see this is Margot's, like, been at some sort of event or some sort of dinner, and she's, like, kind of tired from all the social interaction because she's not as much a social butterfly as all of the other characters. Again, this is just my thoughts for Margot. So she does have, like, her fancy shoes, her fancy bag, because she's been somewhere, but I'm thinking of her, like, strolling along the beach at sunset, like, just enjoying it getting a little bit darker, a little bit cooler, enjoying the quiet and, like, the crashing waves. She's got her shoes just kind of, like, dangling in her hand, right, because she doesn't want to walk on the beach in heels. It's so specific, but I can see it so clearly, and I feel like it works so well. I gave her this nice flowy white skirt with the slit, because I just feel like she wouldn't want anything that's too restrictive. Like, I feel like she wants to be comfortable while being unbelievably classy. The top has a bit more structure to it. I just feel like these two would match very well together. It feels both sophisticated and easy, which is what I get from Margot. That's what I feel like she needs. And then a lot of pearl accessories, obviously. I loved this shoe because her bio specifically says that she likes to find the hidden beauty. And so I love the idea of this shoe that for most people is just going to appear as like a silver strappy heel, but then hidden under the heel is this little pearl, and it's like Margot will know it's there, and maybe some people will notice, but it's more for her, you know, like it's something that she did for herself. I just feel like that's so cute and so perfect. I gave her the fancy pearl bag. I just thought this was so beautiful and elegant, and definitely something that I could see her carrying. I did give her a lot of accessories because she is like a jewelry person, so I feel like if she likes to make jewelry, she probably likes to wear it. That's not always the case, but like, given the limited information that I have, this is what I'm deciding in my own headcanon for her. So we have a single pearl necklace and then some gold pearl drop earrings. I thought those were really cute, very interesting. Like, pearl earrings are super, super classic, but I feel like this has enough design to it where it feels a little bit more modern, a little bit more elevated, and I could see Margot designing these herself. And then the last thing was this pearl headband. I feel like this is so interesting, like all of the different sizes of the pearl. I don't know how well you can see it on the screen, but the like gold banding around the pearls, like holding them in, I thought was really, really beautiful. I just feel like this would be such a stunner, like such a statement piece, but also like so low-key for a statement piece. You know, like some statement pieces are huge and immensely colorful. I feel like this would be a more subtle statement piece. I also know I said lastly, but I did give her a bracelet. Instead of giving her even more pearls, because I feel like I know Margot De Perla pearls, but I feel like I have a lot of pearls in here. So instead I gave her a gold bangle with the gold balls on the end to kind of be reminiscent of pearls, you know, like same shape, but without it being actually pearls. I love this. I feel like this is so solid. I'm actually very, very proud of this one. Again, I think it's because I can see her character, or at least like my idea of her character, so clearly with this. I have the whole scenario that I can think of. I just feel like this is super solid, and I really love it. So I'm proud of this one. I hope you guys like it too. So yeah, guys, that is going to be all of the outfits for today. Let me know what order you would place these in, like least to most favorite, because obviously that's how I ordered them in this video, from my least to most favorite. But I'm very curious about whether you guys agree with me or whether you like think that my least favorite is your favorite. I would love to hear your thoughts on those in the comments down below. And then, as I said at the beginning, I am going to do at least one more Rainbow High episode for this, because that was the technical request that I was trying to comply with, but I just went off the rails a little bit, so I'm gonna do at least one more Rainbow High episode. But let me know if you like these. Let me know if you want me to do more. I can do another Monster High one, or I can keep going with Rainbow High. I can add in some Shadow High if you guys want. I would love to hear your feedback, if you want me to stop making these videos, or if you want me to keep making these videos, and if so, which ones. Just let me know down below. But yeah, I hope you guys had fun today. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or your night, whatever it might be, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys!